This video is sponsored by 3D Beast Academy. So if you've always wanted to learn how to create hard surface models, UV and also texture them, then this is that wonderful opportunity that you've been waiting for. As J.L. Musi, an accomplished 3D artist and also an industry authority with achievements and experiences in both film, video games, and other various publications, is currently offering a free hard surface masterclass training, as the masterclass covers step-by-step processes of creating professional-grade 3D models to help you land that dream job in the VFX and video game industry. This course covers all of the basics, intermediate, and advanced tips and tricks that you need to know for modeling and also texturing. And for those who like to stand out and create professional, high-grade production quality 3D models and increase your chances of being visible within the VFX and video game industry, then you can simply go over to the link in the description and register for this free masterclass. And a huge shout out to J.L. Musi for making this possible. Known for its AI and keyframe assisted way of animating, Cascadeur has actually taken the industry by storm, and the mobile version of Cascadeur is now available, and you can definitely go over to their Discord and try out the alpha. And today we're going to take a look at how this alpha works, some of the things we saw within the preview, and what you can actually do with Cascadeur for mobile right now. So for those who are thinking about getting this, you might want to go over to the link in the description and check this out. And with that said, let's get right into it. So one of the things I would like to mention is for you to actually run Cascadeur, you'll be needing an iOS device, and you'll also be needing test flight so you can actually launch Cascadeur. So with Cascadeur right here, simply opened, you would notice that the UI looks extremely simple. And to get started is to press the plus button, and this would ask you to enter the project name. In this case, I'm just going to call this anime, and we're going to simply click on done, select the mannequin, and we can also select an interval. In this case, I'm just going to set this interval all the way to 12 and click on done. With this here, we can click on create project. And once you click on create project, this will load you into a viewport where you can start doing some interesting things. From here is where you get to start making those animations. So first things, let's talk about the entire UI. So right here, you would notice that we have a timeline. So within this timeline is where all your animations would be. So I'm just going to make sure that we have our animation right where we would like it to be. And from here, you can make selections and move your character how you want. So you do have gizmo. So I'm going to use the gizmo to raise the character leg all the way up to this point. And we can position that right there. We can also move this all the way to another frame, say maybe frame 24. And we can stretch this leg all the way out and raise it all the way as well. If you would like to rotate several parts of your model, yes, you can. So in this case, we can have that hip selected, go over to the rotate button, and we can rotate this hip however we want. Every single thing that you do with all of these gizmos gets registered on the keyframe, and you can also go ahead and make corrections if you choose. So we can have that done, and we can go over to another frame, and we can simply move this hip backwards, and we can also bring that maybe slightly lower. So with this done, there's also a couple of other things that you might want to see. So just in case you like to just add additional holding keyframes, yes, you can. So you can go over to a given frame and you can click on the key button to add an additional keyframe. At the same time, if you like to switch your gizmo from local to global, you can turn this on and turn it off. So depending on how you like to animate, you do have options for all of these. Some other things that you might want to know about the keyframing is this, that you can select any keyframe. Say for example, you can select the keyframe for 12 and you can either make copies or you can paste. Actually, let's go ahead and do that for keyframe 0. So we can go in and make a simple copy of that keyframe, go all the way down to this key, and I'm going to simply paste it. One thing you need to keep in mind is to individual points that you have selected, you actually paste to them. So in this case, if you do select the heap, properties for the heap is what you're selecting, and when you're pasting the properties for the heap. The same thing can be said for every other part. So if you do have, say you have this other side selected, if you make any modifications to that and you hit the copy, if you go ahead and make a paste, it is the property for that particular point or joint that you have selected that you're also pasting. So it is one of those things to keep in mind when working with this. Going all the way to the top, you would notice that we have a couple of interesting things right here. Now I did notice that the auto physics sort of crashes from time to time, but then the ghosting actually works. So you can turn on ghosting if you want, and this is just in case you would like to see the ghosting of the entire animation that you've made. You can turn this to be silhouettes just in case, and you can turn this off if you want. Going all the way back, you can load in a video reference if this is what you want, and the auto physics, like I mentioned, these kind of crashes from time to time, and I wouldn't really suggest that you play with it right now unless there is a beta build that actually fixes that. And for the camera, this deals with a viewport for orthographic and perspective viewing. Going all the way to the AR mode, this is where things actually get quite interesting. So with the AR mode, you can simply turn on the AR mode and use the placement to place your animation anywhere. This is also quite interesting, especially for scale, as you can simply bring in your character to the real world, play back your animation, and also animate the character. So if you pinch in and pinch out, you can increase or reduce the nodes, and you can select individual nodes and control them how you want. This is just extremely brilliant. The fact that you can actually hold on to your phone or your iPad and just walk around your character and see them in real time and make those changes automatically right there is just impressive. You can add keyframes, remove keyframes, do all of that stuff. And this is just still in its alpha, and hopefully once this makes it to final beta, we might be getting even some more interesting things. Trajectory is also available, and in terms of joints, these are referenced to as points, so you can turn on this point and turn them off, and you've also got points for fingers as well. Additional points are also available just in case you like to play with those, and most of these points are secondary joints that are responsible for twisting a particular joint on your model. There's also an IK and FK button. But one of the things which I'll suggest for the IK button is this doesn't really tell you if it has switched to IK or FK. Once you click on the button, it only highlights that the button gets turned on or turned off, but you don't necessarily know if it has switched on to either IK or FK. Finally, you can also export your files, and once you're done animating, you can simply export this as a Cascadeur file, or you can export this as a video. So this is it for those who are thinking about taking a look at this, or probably you like to try it out. Then you can simply go over to the Discord where you can see all of this and start exploring with it. Cascadeur is currently available for free, just in case you're thinking about using it, and this is quite impressive. And of course, if you're thinking about learning more about hard surface modeling, UV mapping, and texturing, all for free, then you can simply go over to the 3-part masterclass that is available on 3dbeastacademy.com. This is totally free, so go ahead and grab your spot for this masterclass. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, and of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.